This video series is part of a larger initiative from Create to Learn, a partnership between Taking It Global and Imaginative. So follow Create to Learn's Instagram or the hashtag Create to Learn on social media to find more series that teach youth digital skills. So now that we've had our the key map set up here and the shortcuts that we added on, I'm just going to go over like how to navigate and move around in the space here. So those key maps that we changed there, if you hit Option and the left key mouse, it allows you to rotate around, and then Option and the scroll wheel allows you to drag the view around, and then the scroll wheel is just zooming in and out. So now we're going to go ahead and add in our 3D assets from the land to the sun, the camera, and the image. So in order to do that, we're going to go Shift A and then over to Mesh, Landscape. We're going to go with River. So just turn that off because it comes with water and the land. And you can adjust the random seed here, so it'll just kind of change up how the river or the landscape looks. So I'm going to go with this one here, and then once you click off of this, you can't access it again. So I'm just going to select off because we have our landscape here. So if you see, we select here, it's the water plane and that's the land plane. So the next thing we're going to add in here is our sun. So again, Shift A, Mesh, Icosphere, and then we're going to turn, yours will look like this when you first imported, something like that. And you're just going to go all the way up to the highest one, which is 8. And then we're going to scale it. We're just going to scale it down a bit, and then I'm just going to position it with this, panning around like so. So the sun is just touching the landscape here. Yeah, that should be good. So I'm going to have to bring it forward again. Yep. And then we're going to add in our image. So Shift A, image. Oh, we're going to have to go to Pexels first. So Pexels.com or Unsplash.com. They're royalty-free images that you can download. And then I just typed in sky and sunset, and then you can click the download option there. We'll go back to Blender here. I already have one downloaded, so we're just going to go ahead and do that. So Shift A, image, and then images as planes. We're going to go, navigate to your downloads folder. And then I have this one here that I like, import image as plane. And sometimes this will happen, it'll come up in the wrong rotation. So you just got to figure out, you can just drag. So yeah, so it's rotation on the X. I'm just going to change that to 90. And then drag it so it's right behind the sun. And then I'm going to scale it up quite a bit. You'll see why after. It might look a little excessive right now, but once we add in our camera, you'll see why. All right, so we're going to go in and add the camera. So Shift A, camera, and then we're just going to select the green arrow to drag it back, and then the blue to drag it up a bit, and then the red arrow to position it a bit better. And then with our camera selected here, we're going to click the camera and we're going to change the focal length right away. So we're going to change that to 35 millimeters. And then, so if you want to view through the camera, you can select View, Camera, and then Active Camera. And then if you go here to Context Object here, we can also adjust the location and scale of it. So I'm just going to be touching the location and rotation, and you can just use the slider here to move it back and forth however you want. And then I'm going to adjust the rotation a bit. So yeah, that sounds about right for that. Maybe I'll just leave this one at 0. Yes, so it's not crooked. So you can just adjust these how you like. And if you want more of a control over the camera here, you can just hit these arrows on the side here. So I want kind of the water in my scene here, so I'll go with something like that. Okay, so we're going to leave that for now, and then we're just going to match the background of the image here to match the same rotation as this camera. So 20 and then 83. And then I'm just going to drag that back a bit, like so, and then go back to view, camera, active camera, and then we might have to move it over a bit. All right, so we have most of our stuff positioned here, and I'm just going to go over one last thing here. So I'm just going to exit out of the camera view, or it doesn't matter, I can leave it. So if you select X, you can see the rendered view. So the only thing that's going to show up here is our image, which it looks like it is upside down. So I'll adjust that later. We're going to go, this one here, solid. So you just select X, sorry, you just select Z and then let go, and it selects it. Look dev, and then wireframe. But we're always going to go between rendered or solid. All right, so that's what we have set up here for the second part of this tutorial.